because it's Hula Hoop Awareness Month. Why they didn't go with hula, I don't know, but mine is not to question why.
Well, they need one for next year.
Duh.
So hoops, 20% off at cleclothingcompany.com, or if you're in one of their lovely stores, you can use it on checkout.
Did you ever hear that saying about the bigger the hoop?
The bigger the hoop,
Yeah.
larger the poop. I don't know. What is it?
You knew it. That's it.
Did I nail it?
No,
You
that's
nailed
what
it.
it is.
It's the bigger the hoop, the bigger the poop.
You listen to the show on iHeartRadio. Tell me where you do that. Tell me if you hear us. I know they're having some issues recently. Rick listens in Amarillo, Texas. Mike is in Charlotte. Kristen is a new bureau chief in San Antonio. Andrew listens in Munich, Germany.
Hey.
And Brian is in Albuquerque. So thanks, gang. Also this week, today through Friday, 5:10 specifically, you're going to hear a keyword that can get you to Los Angeles for a few days, specifically the weekend of the 15th. So next weekend after this, because it's our Alter Ego Festival. We're about 4 or 5 years into this now. They have a killer lineup every year. This year's no different. 21 Pilots, Kings of Leon, all-time low. Imagine Dragons, and Coldplay, who announced over the break that Coldplay, as a band, would be splitting up in 2025. I don't know how they set 2025 as their date, but they said that after that time, they would stop making music.
Listen, I got about 3 more years of you guys, and then I'm done.
Yeah. So anyway, so I have keywords for you all week at 5:10 for you to get this trip to L.A. for our Alter Ego Festival. You and a friend will fly you out, put you up, get you to the show. It's at the Forum in Los Angeles. So this week will be your last-ditch effort to get out there if you've struck out so far. I was reading that they raised the minimum wage in the state of Ohio.
To $3.27.
I mean, you're still living at the poverty line if you have kids, but they said that it was the thing that bummed me out the most. Listen, any wage increase is good, I guess. It's better than not a wage increase. But it's going to be $9.30 an hour, which is $2 more than federal minimum wage. So that's something, I guess. But I'm always amazed at how incremental the raises are.
Well, they have to, do it in accordance with inflation. So obviously the way things have gone up in price over the past couple of years, that extra $2 an hour, you're on easy street now.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the actual
want to work now.
The actual hourly increase is 50 cents an hour, and they say it's the largest since 2006, which was the last time there was something on the ballot that said, let's adjust the minimum wage for inflation. They don't always index for inflation. So in 15 years, they go, I think it's time to throw people an extra $2
It's ridiculous.
per hour.
I am not super familiar with, until I got this job, any kind of wages, because I was a bartender. So it was always like $2
Yeah.
or whatever, and then you make your tips,
You're
right?
walking around with cash all the time.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he works a union job, and he was saying how, like, they get it's like a 10-cent increase every year or something like that. And I was like, that doesn't seem like enough money. And he was like, yeah, but corporations, when they're like, oh, but it's a 10 cent across the board. So everyone who's a member of this union for whatever, pipe fitters or whatever it might be, that's how they like counter it. Like instead of raising them 50 cents a year or $1 a year, the corporations come back with like, oh, well, that's just too many employees for us. So everyone gets a 10-cent a year
Sure,
raise.
there's always some excuse for why they can't pay you.
What is that over the course of a year?
It's nothing.
$30? Like,
It's
what is
nothing.
that?
It's immaterial. So in the state of Ohio now, somebody working a job at minimum wage should make about $19,000, which is still under the poverty line for a family of 3.
What's the poverty line?
If you have one kid, well, what's 19 plus 2? $21,000 in the state of Ohio is considered.
That's exactly what I made last year.
Last year you made $21,000.
Here, yeah.
But you're not a family
You're
of
a
3.
single woman.
Yeah. Oh, I'm povertied.
So it's been 15, almost 16 years since Ohio has raised the state minimum wage. The federal minimum wage remains 7.25, I think.
That's what you made here. That's not what you made overall.
No, I didn't get my comedy stuff yet. But the other thing, too, is that and I could be wrong, with all the work shortages, I feel like a lot of places are offering way more than minimum wage right now. Like Burger King, they're like, hey, come work here for $15 an hour, you know? So I'm wondering what places are still paying minimum wage. Anywhere that can?
This place for Poundcake.
Pretty much.
Hey, you got a 50-cent raise. Congratulations.
Hey, congratulations, buddy. 50 cents an hour.
Hey.
That's $2 a day.
Y'all about to
Well,
see me.
taxed.
Congratulations.
$1.60.
I didn't even bust up in my Christmas swag yet. Y'all gonna think I'm balling. 50 cents more, and I got Christmas clothes. Oh, forget about it.
Christmas clothes.
Oh, you just forget about it.
Yeah, you like to wait till later in the year. So
Look at
that
this
we'll be
sweater I
impressed.
got.
I won't wear them. You won't see a shoe until March. Not one shoe, not a pair, just one. You won't see one until March. They're tucked away.
You should wait to debut your Christmas clothes when we get to the new studios.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone else is leaning and busted, and I'm gonna be in there.
That's right. We're going to be wearing the same old studio clothes we had on before.
latest
He's
man.
going to be like, bow, 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 bow. He's going to be like Curtis Mayfield up in this piece.
And it gives me time to fit into them.
Yeah.
Are they too small?
No, I know they fit, but it's just the point. It's the new year, so
New year, new you, huh?
I gotta. I literally laid on my ass for, less than the time recommended, but a week, and I just ate. And now you ain't helping me with my Chick-fil-A gift card and my Uber Eats gift card. I'm supposed to
They
be going
have
to the gym at
healthy
some point.
options.
And Uber Eats, you can get anything from anywhere. You could get a salad.
Chipotle's kicking out all that fake meat now.
What do
Right?
you mean fake meat?
Like
Impossible
vegan
plant
chorizo.
beef or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? You can call it whatever you want. It's plant beef.
Plant.
But I think about these people who work these fast food jobs, the fast food industrial complex. Those are the, Bill's referred to them as the new factory jobs, and that's a great way to put it. I was reading about this girl who was working the drive-through. This is in southern Indiana. I don't know, Evansville. We've got bureau chiefs in Evansville. It's a 20-year-old girl, who got punched and kicked by a woman who wanted a single hush puppy. Remember hush puppies?
Yeah.
The Long John Silvers. There aren't very many of those around anymore. But
There's one on Ridge Road. Oh, no, it's an Arthur's Treachers. That's not even a Long John Silver's.
Arthur Treachers is the one way out here, but I think that's closed now, too. I think the
I
Arthur
think there's a Long John
Treachers.
Silver's on. It doesn't
Anyway,
matter.
there's a
don't
couple
think so.
of them
Yeah.
here and there. They're not nearly as many of them as there used to be. I don't know why the 70s and part of the 80s were the heyday for fast food seafood, fast food fish.
Fishmongering was a bigger thing.
Is that what it was?
We're running low on.
A hush puppy.
There's a monger shortage.
It's just like cornmeal, right?
They are. They're like
breaded.
deep fried dough balls.
They're not very good.
I remember them being delicious.
I never liked them.
I'm
They're
sure
always
they've
dry.
changed the recipe to make
very
them
dry.
cheaper or whatever. No, when I was a kid, I remember going to Long John Silver's specifically
For
for
the
those.
hush puppies.
Yeah, you might grab a cod plank just to fill out your order, Anyway, so this girl, 20 years old, 20 and pregnant, by the way, so full of great decisions. But anyway, there's a woman who drives through and gets pissed off because they won't sell her a single hush puppy. Never get between fat people and fried foods. If there's any takeaway from this, she wanted to buy a single hush puppy. If you go through the Long John Silver's drive-through, the fewest they will sell you are 2.
Oh, God.
This woman said, I just like that old Chris Rock bit. How about I get a bun and a pickle? He can't afford the hamburger. So it's just a girl working the drive-through. She's going to have a kid.
She smells like fish.
Smells like fish, or just that. You don't smell like
Fryer
any
oil.
Yeah,
oil,
it does.
yeah.
Yep, it doesn't matter where you work. You all smell the same when you leave. It's just this melange of grease and food in the air, whatever. So she tells the lady that she can only sell them to her in 2, and the lady, of course, say it with me, yelled a racial slur. Drives around the building, goes in the dining room, starts punching the girl and wrecking the place, and kicks her in the stomach. Doesn't know she's pregnant. I mean, it just turns out the girl is pregnant. Kicks her in the stomach.
Damn.
And
Do they have...
drove to a nearby parking lot where she jumped into another car. And then,
Abandon the car
Whoa.
over a hush puppy.
yeah.
Now,
How much is 2 hush puppies?
it's got to be like $1, maybe?
Probably.
$1.95 is what 2 hush puppies will cost you at Long John Silver's. It's cornmeal,
So
right?
she had 97 cents and was like,
I don't know what she had. So they, 30 to 40-year-old black woman, purple shirt, brown scarf, black lady hurling racial epithets at the other girl working the drive-thru. Now, I don't know what the state minimum wage is in Indiana, but even if it's $9.30, like here in Ohio, I mean, you're just trying to get through the day without hush puppy rage. You're
what,
just
though?
trying to get through the day.
there have been times when I want less of something at a restaurant or something like
Racial
that.
epithets.
Yeah, always want that. That's not just sometimes.
If I can get to 0.
No, but I'll say like, hey, I don't want whatever it might be. You can still charge me for it, but I only want half or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't think she wanted to pay for 2.
But how does that not connect in your brain? Where this isn't an option. I can charge you for 2 and only give you
Because
one.
people
But I
want
can't control
whatever they
the prices.
want to be an option.
We have given ourselves over to a convenience society, and it doesn't compute for some people that they can't get what they want when they want it.
Over the break, I don't know if I told this. I don't think I've told this story on air because I wasn't here. I was in Target, and the girl, there was lines. I think it was before Christmas. The girl shut her light off, and we were all in line. There was like 3 people behind me, and I was
Line
like,
where? I'm sorry.
in Target.
Target,
So the cashier girl turned her light off.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, are you, like, can we still stay in this line? And she goes, no, I have like a heart out. I have to go take a break right now. Management's on my ass. Like, I'm sorry. You're going to have to find another line. And I was like, no worries. I get it. And then the lady behind me goes, I don't get it. Like that. And I turned around and I looked at her and she goes, what? I'm just supposed to find another line? And the woman
And
was
she's
like,
behind you.
She's behind me.
Yeah, she
And
wasn't next.
Right. But she was like mad that I was like, oh, I get it. Like, no worries. You have to
What
go
are you
take a
going
break
to
or
do?
whatever.
Just be kind to this service worker?
Right. So she just goes,
During this time of year?
she just goes, so what? I just have to find another line? And I looked at her and I was like, sounds like it, you know? Like I'm not gonna amp her up, but it's like, hey, just find another line.
Find
it's not that
another
big of a
line.
deal. Go to self-checkout. And she goes, could I find another line at Kohl's? Like she's
Like, maybe go.
like, I'll take my
You'll
money
find
elsewhere.
a very long line at Kohl's.
I was going to say, you'll never stand in line at Kohl's.
Oh, yes, you will.
Really?
Oh, Kohl's will.
They're just old. They take so long to do anything.
And there's...
Anytime I've been in a Kohl's over the last few years, there's nobody in
Oh,
there.
man.
They're
There's,
all Christmas time, and there's like one
Christmas,
old
okay.
woman
Yeah,
working
yeah,
at
yeah.
checkout.
Yeah.
But the
I've
face,
seen a long lines at Kohl's, even outside of Christmas time.
the face
You
of
on a
the
Saturday?
girl
It's
who was
bananas.
taking her break, the face of the cashier girl was like, yes, go to Kohl's. Do you think I care
Right.
if you shop at Target? I'm not Jan
commission.
Target. You know what I mean? Like, go to Kohl's. No one wants you in this store.
Who's the dude who does the TikTok videos about people working in the store? I'll take my business
Oh,
elsewhere.
yeah,
and he
with the
goes,
mustache,
good.
yeah.
It's
Get
very funny.
out. Like, we don't care, you know?
Yeah.
But those type of people where they're just like, what am I supposed to find another? What do you mean you can't sell me a hush puppy? It's
I
like,
don't-
I don't make the rules here.
I don't know if it's.
Folks got the bit about Arby's getting rid of their original fries and just having curly fries.
Yeah.
And someone freaking out on him when he's like, hey, I got to go clean this toilet. But yeah, I make all the decisions about the French
Yeah,
fries at Arby's.
you're right.
I have a paper hat.
I remember there was a time there was a lady flipping out in this Walmart line, and then she like was on the verge of tears. She's like, "This is what happens when they don't want to hire people. Like they only have 2 lines open. You see how they got like 15 lines, but like only 2 of them are open. That's ridiculous." I'm like, oh, she must have got turned down for a job here, and
Oh, they don't wanna hire people,
She's
yeah.
blaming them for them not hiring her and having a long line. See, if you would have just hired me, you would have had one more line open. But I was like, Walmart do be tripping, though. You will literally have like 12 registers and
One.
One.
But if they don't have people to man them, it's the same argument that people make.
Nope.
It's the same
That's
argument that
not the
drives
problem.
me nuts coming from service industry when people will walk into a restaurant and be like, table for 2, and they're like, we're on a 15-minute wait. And they're like, well, that table's open. Like, yeah, well, there's no server in that section. So if you'd like to go sit at the empty table with no server, you're more than welcome to.
It's one thing when they have like a self-checkout, but when you have just the 12 items or less line, and then you have one other register, and you have a line full of registers.
But if there's no one working,
no,
but this,
in the store. But he's right. This way predates all this.
Yeah,
it's like a hack joke. There's 25 lines at Walmart and 2 people working, right? But you will have also noticed over the years the number of self-checkouts they've added at these stores. There's way more self-checkouts because they're like, hey, why don't you do this person's job?
Since you're so mad at them.
It has the illusion of getting you through quicker, except the line is a lot longer because everybody thinks they're going to get through quicker. So now there's a long line. So you're doing that person's job. So now we can let them go.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's a great way to give people the illusion of control and going, oh, you can check out your own stuff. So I've got it. Now I'm going to go scan it. You're doing their job.
But it's just as long because there's one person managing all 15 of those self-checkouts. This happened to me at Walmart, where this woman is running around like a crazy person because 2 people who are 40 want to buy NyQuil, but they have to have an employee come scan it in order to sell the NyQuil to make sure that the person's not under 17 or whatever.
I understand. I don't know if it's a safe assumption, but my assumption has always been when somebody freaks out about something like that person has never worked retail. They've never worked a service industry job. Now, they might have done that as a teenager and blown right through it and treat everybody else like crap, right?
Yeah.
But my assumption is always, you've never worked retail, have you? Because if you had, you'd have a certain degree of kind of sympathy for what that entails.
Or just understanding that employees are not responsible for that kind of stuff.
But I also understand that most people, I shouldn't say most people, a lot of people hate their lives. They feel like they're constantly getting screwed by somebody. So when they're in line and the light goes off, the light in their head goes off and they flip out.
Yeah.
However, in 2022, no one is bored anymore. So if you have to wait, you stand there on your phone and flip through stuff that's also going to make you mad, let's be real.
Right.
I mean, but you don't have to stand there looking around anymore. Like when you're in a doctor's office waiting.
Play a game on your phone.
You don't care how long you're waiting. You might have another place you got to be.
Yeah.
I get it, right? Life happens. But there's no reason for people to be bored anymore.
But you're right, though, that like when that light
it's
flips
frustrating,
off,
yes, but
and they're like,
whatever.
First my wife left me, now this, where it's just, there's other things happening,
Right.
First my wife.
Now I have to find another line, find another wife, too.
Yeah. She said I was impatient and she couldn't do it anymore.
Do you know her? Did Carol tell you to do this?
Did Carol tell you to take a break? She said we were going to take a break, and she never came back.
Never came back. I was living in the garage for a year. I worked at Walmart for years, and they purposely understaffed cashiers to save money. Yeah, that's no revelation, of course. The more people they have working, the more people they have to pay. But I get it.
The fact that the girl just
But
broke
you
out
also
in
have
tears.
to. But you also have to understand that I think the implicit it makes people angry because. First of all, you need to get rid of the customer's always right. That ship
That
sailed a
died years
long
ago.
time ago, okay? But also, there is an implicit relationship that you have with retail where we are all cattle and we're there to fill a basket with things, and then some person behind the thing, slowly scans them, and then we get our way through. We're after, they don't care because they're
side
working.
eye.
Nor should you expect them to care, by the way.
Why would they?
I
That's
would
my
never
point. Why
expect
would
someone, right?
Especially if they're working for a huge corporation like Walmart. Like this person who makes no money does not care if you walk out of this Walmart. They don't care. For 1 second, it doesn't matter to them.
They're like, hurry up.
Right. That's one last person I have to talk to.
And if
to
they
the
did,
end.
and if they did care, let's say you had the most conscientious retail employee of all time.
Dick from Dayton.
Even if they did care, nothing they could do about it. My older daughter works at Five Below. Okay, she got a job at Five Below. People steal from Five Below all the time. You wouldn't think that they're not.
Costs $1.
Yeah, they're not holding the place up or taking the register or anything.
It's shoplifting, right?
Just shoplifting. So you account for what's called shrinkage in your store, which is the normal, every year there's a normal amount of loss, stuff that's stolen, theft, whatever. It's referred to as
Broken,
shrinkage.
whatever.
Yes. It's like in the food industry, there's a certain federal regulation. You can have a certain amount of, rat beeholes in hot dogs or whatever it is, right?
Feces and popcorn,
Right, whatever it is. That's what gives it the flavor. But she, I'll talk to her, like, how's the job? And she goes, we got robbed the other night or whatever. And of course, I'm worried about her. I'm like,
her
are you okay?
safety.
She goes, I'm fine. She goes, they just put two, I don't think they have carts. They have like those roller baskets or whatever. Piled them full of stuff, went out the back emergency door.
And you're told as an employee, don't chase them.
Do not chase them.
Yeah.
Do not chase them. I got in trouble when I was managing a Blockbuster Video because I chased somebody out of the store that was clearly filling their trench coat with VHS tapes, which in the early
Where's
90s,
that guy now?
that was not easy to conceal when VHS was the format.
Yeah.
And I got in trouble from corporate because I chased the guy.
That was part of our training at Coach. I worked for the handbag store, and they were like, it's not worth it. They will have a gun. They'll have a knife. They will be mad at you because that $200 purse is the most important thing. Don't
and
go
it's not
chasing
out
them.
of concern for you.
They don't want to get sued.
Don't want to get sued. They don't want the hassle.
Right.
Yeah. Just let them go. We're overcharging for all this stuff anyway.
Right, yeah.
It's baked into the price of the item. Yeah. Alan, I'm in management at a grocery store, and one of my favorite things is Christmas Eve when we close early. I stand at the entrance and happily tell people that they can't come in after a certain time.
See, it's the little things. See, it's not always about customer service customer service goes both ways. Sometimes you get to service them in a way that's very
Makes you
inconvenient for
happy.
them. Yeah.
Well,
point
because
and
I can
laugh.
see them saying like, what do you mean it's 5:50? You don't close till 6. And you're like, yeah, but you're not going to be done in 10 minutes. So
Sometimes it's not always about monetary remuneration, right? It's about like the perks of the job.
Seeing the disappointment on their face on Christmas Eve as they don't get the last few items they need for their Christmas dinner.
No, that's real though.
People get so
I
upset.
know.
People get upset, but can't argue with me because I say my employees are leaving on time to enjoy their holiday.
right, what are they going to say? Well, keep them here. You know?
No, I used to love when I used to work at the smoothie place in college. Kids, our store used swipes, like so you could use your meal plan or whatever to buy groceries, and it would be around Christmas time, the end of the semester, or around Thanksgiving, where they would have a full week worth of swipes and only a couple days to use them. So that last day I knew was going to be hell, and they would make me work it every year. And let me tell you, I think we closed at 9. Bitch, it was like 8:50. I'm like, they're
Locking
like,
stuff
and
up.
people were. I could see people come down. I'm like, sorry, all these people have cleaned us out. There's a cart line around the corner. I'm like, no, I'm not letting you in. Call my boss. What you gonna do? They need me. I'm the best worker they got.
Fire me, what?
What you gonna do? They would clean us out. I'm like, I'm not doing no more because I know you're gonna come in here at 9 and you're in. They're like, once we're in here, you can't kick us out. I'm like, but the people that are in here, I can't kick out. I can keep out.
I can prevent you from coming in. That would always happen. I worked at American Eagle in high school, and we closed at 9, normal mall time, right? But it would be like 8:50, and we'd be like start straightening up the store, getting everything ready, and there'd still be like 2 people in the store, and then at 9 o'clock we were allowed to close one door.
I'll cough real loud.
we had to keep one door open so that the people could get out. So people would try to come in and would be like, actually, we're closed. We're like, that guy's at the register. Like, yeah, but like it's 9:10. We closed 10 minutes ago. Like, I just got to return something real quick. I was like, oh, so you're gonna mess up our sales for the day too? Is what you want to do?
Yes,
Wild.
that's what I want to do is mess up your sales.
Dude, I still do. I think that's because I had that job in college. I'm so courteous. Like when it's a half hour before a place closes,
I
I'm
won't
like,
go to a restaurant.
I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
but I'm not even talking about like a restaurant. I'm talking about like even if it's like a smoothie place or like someplace where it would be quick. I'm like, are they mopping up? Is a chair up on
What's
the
the
table?
minimum
Yeah.
amount of time you won't go in before closing?
I think a half an
45
hour.
minutes.
A half hour.
45 minutes?
No, I'll go in at 45 minutes.
Oh, okay.
If the place closes at 10,
That-
9:15.
Really? That seems like a big window.
I said a half
Wait,
hour.
what kind of place? A
Okay.
food place?
No, I'm asking if a place closes, let's say at 10, what's the latest you'll
A
go in?
store? Like I need to run in and get something, or like a
9:30.
restaurant? That's different. A
Yeah.
restaurant is
Restaurant,
45
I'm with
minutes.
you 45 minutes on that.
If I need to run into Target to grab one thing, I'll go 10 or 20
Yeah, okay,
minutes.
yeah. 10 to 10 or whatever.
Yeah, if it's 9:50 and I know they close at 10 and I have to go to CVS real quick, I don't feel bad about that.
It depends on what the
you can get in and out.
situation is because I can tell. I see the dread on the workers' faces when I walk in. They got the bucket up, they're draining out all the fluids. They got a chair up. They pull out
Draining all the fluids.
from whatever milkshake or machine they have.
Oh, so they do drain those. Nice to know. Make a personal note of that.
They're filling up the
I thought
bucket.
they're always broken. What are they draining?
They got the mop bucket water. They got the chairs up on the table. I'm like, I'm not going to ruin these
I
people's
just
day.
wanted to get a hush puppy. I'm sorry, sir. We're at the draining fluid stage of the evening, all right? Yeah. No, working fine dining for many years, doing side work. You're folding your side work,
Yeah.
you're doing your utensils
Your
and the napkins and all
silverware
that.
rolling.
Yep.
Stocking cups and to-go boxes.
If somebody walked in at 5 to 10, we had to seat
serve
them,
'em.
and we had to take their order. And this is fine dining, so it's like
Takes 2 hours.
Oh my God, it was And then, but then you're like, it's a place where you're making big tips too, so it's not so bad,
Right.
Because they're like, hey, sorry, can we just get in? Yeah,
Well,
okay.
I've worked for places that would do last call for the kitchen. So if, say, the kitchen closes at 9, the bar closes at 10, at 8:30 was last call for food. That's it. There is no more food orders are going in after 8:30 because the kitchen closes at 9. Just like you would do last call at a bar, So if the bar closes at 10, 9:45 last call. You can have your last drink and then get the hell out, which is so helpful because a lot of places don't do that, where they make you stay over and you're like, if it came in on wing night when it's only 40 cents and now I got a $1 tip being here 2 hours after I was supposed to leave.
Stephen Canton says Mary needs a 2-hour window if it's the grocery store. Yeah, because you're
So it should
chatting
take
with
your time,
everybody.
yeah.
What time did they close?
Yeah.
10 o'clock? Oh, they're open 24 hours? I just found a new grocery store.
I'll never stop making friends.
That's right. I will drive to the Sandusky Kroger.
I went grocery shopping with my boyfriend the other day, and we have gone to the grocery store a couple times, and it's usually pretty chill and whatever. But he was on some other stuff with items being out, that everything apparently that he wanted in this grocery store they were out of, and it prolonged our shopping experience so much that I was like, I
Like
can
what
see why
items?
this is frustrating. They didn't have Giant Eagle brand coffee creamer. They only had Coffee Mate, and so he was very upset about the extra $1.50 he was going to have to spend.
I don't want fop. I'm a Dapper Dan man.
It was that, but apparently everything that he was looking for, they didn't have the brand that he liked. So we were making a lot of decisions and a lot of compromises.
Usually it's the other way, where somebody wants a very specific brand and they're mad if they have to buy generic. He goes the other way. All I want is generic coffee creamer.
Exactly what it was, Odie.
I want cereal in a bag.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Why is your bottom shelf empty?
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, do you want me to go ask an employee if they have more Giant Eagle coffee creamer in the back? Or would you like me to hand you $6?
That's also something.
I'm just trying to get a box of Plucky Charms, all right?
Right, Fruity O's.
The myth of the back is
Yeah.
something that I don't ask. I don't go, well, do you got any in back?
Well, sometimes they do if they just
yeah,
got
but
it
I'm never
in or
going to
whatever.
ask.
I've never
If
asked
there's
that
an
either.
employee near me, I will.
I'll never ask.
You're my mom. Are
But
there
I'll
more
preface
chickens
it-
in the back?
Well, and here's what it is. I know they're looking at me like I'm stupid, so I'll preface it with, hey, I know you're out. Do you guys happen to have any back there, or is this all you have?
Well, in a lot of stores now, it looks like they're always stocking.
Yeah.
So there's always pallets in the aisle, and it
Yeah.
takes a little bit away from the experience, but it clearly looks like they're always, if they can fill a shelf, they are.
That's the new version of sales, is always be stocking.
yeah.
ABS. Alan, my personal hero is the teenage girl who works at the Lorraine Lowe's. When an old lady told her a shoplifter was getting away, she said, meh, and shrugged. Yeah, well, that's the appropriate response.
Swarm.
Swarm!
Meh.
I've got to take a break. If you want to get a text, 35192. I'll come back with Cavs tickets. They're going to play the Knicks in a couple.